What brought me to following Jesus Christ is I first started with growing up, attending Sunday school and worship. And then when I graduated high school, I got disconnected. After I got married and I had my first son in 2019, I became a stay-at-home mom in 2020, and then COVID hit. And in that time, I felt lonely and I realized I don't have a community of moms. I hadn't made it a priority, and I realized how much I needed it for myself. I was invited to MOPS. From there, I also learned that Mission Hills had MOPS and preschool, which I could bring my son to. I got to meet moms, and I even met one of my best friends through MOPS and Bible study. And I learned that they had very similar stories as me. We had similar struggles. And if we didn't have similar struggles, I learned that you pray for them. I learned that you celebrate with them. I learned through them their devotions with their families. And I learned through these moms how to teach the Word of God to my kids. Through the Bible series, I've gone through 4 now in the last 2 years. The first series was really hard for me because I had to open up about myself in these study books. And at the time, I wasn't ready to confess my sins or who I was as a person. So then on February 4th, 2024, I got baptized at Mission Hills. I was baptized as a baby, but why I felt compelled to do so was because I wanted to publicly demonstrate to myself and to my family that this wasn't a trend, this wasn't a season, that I wanted God to be a part of me for the rest of my life. In my last Bible series, something I found that was very profound. I knew that Jesus was a carpenter, but I didn't know that he was a carpenter of stone. In 1 Peter 2, verses 4 through 5, as you come to him, the living stone, rejected by humans, but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house. So when I put it all together in that moment, I just burst out in tears. Jesus is a carpenter of stone, and he is chipping away at me bit by bit, and he is molding me to the living stone that he wants me to be, not who I want to be, but who he wants to be, so that I can fit into God's spiritual house. In that moment, it all came to me about how poetic and how loving God is. I want to make space for God in my life so that he can keep shaping me into the person he wants me to be. I just want to reach out to other moms and just say, give yourself a chance and allow God to move in your life, to try MOPS or a Bible study at Mission Hills. If you open up your heart, I know that you will see how God is moving in your life. I'd love to see you and say hello.